Hey there everyone, welcome back to another Ark Survival Evolved video. I'm Captain Beefy. This is the Game Vault and we're going to talk about the latest community crunch, and it has clarified some of the stuff, some of the questions that a lot of the Ark player base has had regarding the upcoming Ark Survival Ascended, which is due out probably around about the end of October. So let's cue to music and we'll look at it together. Alright, so first off, we've got the Shastasaurus, which is going to be the latest creature that is added to the game. There is the dossier on it, you can take a look at that, but that's not what we're going to focus on. We've got the, I guess it's a goodbye and a thank you from Hello Games regarding Ark Survival Evolved. And, you know, it's just thanking us basically for 8 incredible years and so on and so forth from the studio Wildcard team. Here's the Shastasaurus. This is an interesting underwater creature. Distant relative of the ichthyosaur. It's got weaponized with ultrasonic chirps it uses for echolocation. I guess similar to the bat maybe, which is kind of cool. It can focus those sounds into a tight cone that disorients prey or widen the effect to blast apart a school of fish in a concussive wave. You can domesticate it. You can scrape barnacles off of it with a sickle, and you end up with a, I guess that's how you tame it, is by scraping off barnacles with a sickle from what it looks like. Looks like you can have a periscope, torpedo bays, and even a cargo hold. Pretty crazy looking creature there. Not the thing we're really going to focus on too much here, but what I do want to focus on is the Q&A session that we've got here. They're asking what it is. It's the next-gen remake of Ark Survival Evolved in Unreal Engine 5. It's going to cost money. I think it's roughly around $40, depending on where you're getting it. So, caveat there, it's not a free upgrade for those of us who already own the original Ark Survival Evolved. So that's kind of disappointing, but I have a feeling, based on a lot of stuff I've heard in the news lately, that Snail Games is kind of in a little financial trouble right now, and I think they're selling off some shares right now, and I know they're indebted to Nitrado for several $1 million. So, you know, it is what it is. So they're going to make their money here. I guess the cost of developing Ark Survival 2, Ark 2, or whatever you want to call it, has really drained their coffers quite a bit, and they haven't had any paid DLC since, was it Genesis Part 2, and it's been a bit since then. So yeah, kind of interesting to see this. The launch is just around the corner. They'll reveal the launch trailer screenshots and set the game live at the end of October, so they are verifying that. You'll be able to play it on Xbox, PlayStation 5, and PC, Windows, and Steam. Why are you doing it? They wanted to refine the development team's skills on UE5 and see how far it can be pushed for the next-gen title, Ark 2. Developing a next-gen game while no longer releasing paid expansions is proven difficult for their long-term survival. Yeah, just like I said. So, Ark 2, they're taking an interesting direction with Ark 2. Ark 2 is designed as a Souls-like adventure, and which is significantly different than Ark Survival Evolved and Ark Survival Ascended. You know, if you know Souls-like games, you're going to know what we're talking about here. If not, then, you know, there's plenty of resources out there to learn about those. But it's significantly different than the way Ark is designed. Ark is a open-world survival game. Souls-like games tend to be a little more combat-focused, with parrying, dodging, and that sort of thing, rolling, whatever. And they tend to follow, for the most part, a fairly semi-linear path. Games like Elden Ring, of course, broke that mold. But the other ones, it's semi-linear, I would say. You know, you've got goals and all that. You want to beat this boss, to beat that boss, to progress to this area, and all that, and so on and so forth. Whereas Ark, yeah, you had bosses in the game, but you could enjoy the game completely without ever facing those bosses if you wanted to. Not recommended, but you could. How are you leveraging the new technology? They've rewritten the code base and they've recreated the artwork by hand. So that's great. We're not just going to get like updated old assets. Everything is going to be new, and the code is going to be new, which is good because that old code, I'm sure, is broken and corrupted as hell by now. It was never the most stable of games. It was never a game that was without errors and craziness going on in it, so that's fantastic. Advanced graphic features such as dynamic water. They're using Fluid Ninja integration. Look up some videos on Fluid Ninja if you're not aware of it. It's amazing. The water's going to look great in the game. Complete interactive physical foliage and more systems to create beautiful, immersive, next-generation experience. So that alone right there sounds like it's going to be significantly better. They're going to have cross-platform modding. They're working with Overwolf to provide an industry-first cross-platform modding experience where mods created on PC are delivered directly to your consoles from a custom modding backend and in-game user mod browser. The modding capacity for creators includes using the full power of UE5, including Blueprint, to create anything, any kind of new content or gameplay within Ark. So that right there is going to give Survival Ascended a longevity probably far beyond the 8 years Ark itself has survived so far. Mods can extend the life of a game by years and years and years. You know, you beat the basic game, now you want to play it with mods. Instead of dinosaurs, you want zombies? You got it. You want to only use primitive weapons and armor and all that? You got it. You want to add new dinosaurs, you want to add new abilities to them, you want to be able to breed griffins, you want to be able to breed dung beetles, you got it. All these things are going to be possible, theoretically, with the new modding system. Full cross-platform multiplayer. Awesome. That's awesome. We're going to be running some servers here at the Game Vault. We're going to have a way to sign up for them. There'll be a monthly fee involved in that to help cover the cost of the servers. But they will be, they'll be set up for you guys. And eventually, as more maps are released, more servers will be added. You're going to have the ability to travel from one server to the other, so that'll be fantastic. It's all going to be done through Nitrado. And, it should be a lot of fun. They're not going to be set up for PvP. It's not going to be, PvP servers. They're going to be PvE. They're going to be set up for small tribes or individuals that just want to jump on and play. And they'll be able to have a good experience with it. It's not going to take 3 days to raise a creature or 6 days to imprint it, certain stuff like that. Taming's going to be a lot quicker and stuff like that. It's not going to have ridiculous experience or anything. Not going to be ridiculous mining. We'll have stack mods on there for stacking things in larger quantities than normal, as well as stacking some of those items like honey and prime meat and mutton that can only go one to a stack and they all rot at once. So it'll be very, very helpful with that kind of thing. New structures. Missed one. So over time, they'll be releasing 11 brand new creatures, which is awesome. I know every map is getting at least one brand new creature to it. A new mini-map system, pan, zoom, pings, etc. That sounds good. Some of the guys were asking about that, like, how come you can't see other players on the map? Maybe we'll be able to see that now, or maybe we'll be able to ping the map so other guys in our tribe can come find us. That's going to come way in handy with my crew. New structures, display cases, smaller tech teleporters, building pieces, and major building system overhaul. Awesome. New gameplay items. Who knows what that is? That can be anything. Dynamic navigation, mesh, and creature pathfinding overhaul. So yeah, if you've played Ark at all, you know pathfinding in this game can be a little brutal. You can have a guy following right behind you. I can be on one allosaur with another one behind me. I can sidestep a rock, and then he'll get stuck on it, 20 feet behind me. And I turn around in 10 minutes and I look and I'm like, where the hell's my... Oh, I got to go backtrack and find him now. So that could be aggravating. So the new AI pathfinding, huge. Total UI revamp, awesome. Photo mode, fantastic. Gonna make some great screenshots with that and some great thumbnails. New camera systems for players and dinos with the option to revert to the old systems. Not really sure what that's about, but cool. New player character assets with revamped and improved customization. So, maybe we'll be able to actually make unique looking characters that don't look like freaks of nature. So that's awesome. Gamepad virtual cursor UI input system, new Dino Manager system, view the real-time status and track locations of all your creatures at will through one unified menu. Oh my god, so from now on, we've all lost dinos. We've all lost dinos. You put together a pack of Ravagers or Raptors or something like that. You go out on a killing spree with them. You got 7 of them, 6 of them, whatever. You run around killing and chasing things down and all that. And you're like, all right, let's go ahead and clean everybody's inventory out, take stock, level them up. You look, and you're missing one guy. It's like, oh, where is he? We've been running around the jungle for 20 minutes now. Now we're going to be able to track him. Freaking cool. A key thing to remember is that Ark Survival Ascended will include all its previously released DLCs and maps in its remastered form, and will have its own content roadmap. This will include new story content for the game, its own gameplay, quality of life changes, new DLC, seasonal events, and more. Some they're not ready to talk about yet. I'm getting excited. Yeah, I'm getting excited about all this. There's a lot going on there. Will there be a pre-order? Get access to the game early? Exclusive content preloading? No. There's no plans for any of that stuff. When it's ready to purchase, it's going live. You can't preload it. You can't pre-order it. No skins for ordering early or anything like that. And while I'm going to miss the preload thing because I imagine it's going to be a pretty big game when it comes out, I got good internet. It won't take too long to download for me. But in any case, it's kind of refreshing to not have a $20 version or a $20 more expensive version that lets you play 3 days earlier and gives you a handful of skins. It's refreshing. So kudos to you for doing that, Wildcard. That's awesome. How's crossplay going to work? They're going to have a 3-phase system for rolling out crossplay. This is because it allows us to iterate more rapidly after launching a fresh title and makes managing our operations much less complicated, allowing us to deliver you a better experience. Also, we're waiting for updates on the engine plug-in side to enhance the experience further. So Phase 1, launch. Crossplay will be enabled for Xbox Series X and S, Windows PC, and PlayStation 5. Oh, it will not work for Steam PC at launch. Okay, they'll have to patch it a lot once the game's past launch hurdles and entered a more stable state. Certifying builds on other platforms will be quicker, and they'll be enabling full crossplay. We'll split official servers between respective crossplay platforms. We also intend to host some servers that are crossplay only between Xbox and PlayStation to keep out the PC master race folks. Okay, that's kind of funny. Phase 2, full crossplay. Time frame December, and this is a wildcard ETA with the winky face, so that means March. So yeah, crossplay aiming for December on all platforms. Okay, meaning Steam can join in. So, you know, my guys that are playing through Steam right now and joining us, you won't be able to join till December. I'll probably end up keeping the current server running until then, so we can continue live streaming and adventuring on that until the new one comes out. So I'll be maintaining at least 2 servers until December. Cross progression timeframe 2024. It's not going to be enabled with full crossplay because they'll need to integrate some forthcoming updates to the Epic Online Service program or system. They don't have a time frame. So what changes have made to the servers? But yeah, we'll skip through that. What content changes have been made for day 1? Caves, Ras, Cryopods, Tech, Giant Squirrels. Okay, so they're stating that they're going to release content based on the map it launched with. It doesn't matter when it launched. For example, the Ras will be available on day 1, and the Arinia Natha or whatever on the island. However, tech creature variants and Cryopods will not be available. No Cryopods from launch. Okay, that's something I've been wondering about and questioning myself. That's going to be painful. We've gotten so used to them for managing our bases and our dinos and bringing them, you know, into caves and to boss arenas and all that. So we're going to be going old school. They've done a pass on caves with some balance adjustments to choke points and improved the cave's internal appearance. Cool. They're hesitant to make dramatic changes to cave balance. They didn't feel a complete overhaul was wise. Okay. On the gameplay side, they overhauled building, they disabled leveling of movement speed on creatures and players on official network. Unofficials can change this via config, of course. Wow, that's huge. So official network, you will not be able to adjust your player speed. That's cool. That's I see why they're doing that, because you don't want to have a guy that just takes a potion, you know, respecs and then runs up to a base with some C4 and then runs out real quick. I got you. Small dino, quality of life changes, breeding changes. This one sounds scary. They're freaking out about it, but generally their intention hasn't been to change the strength of creatures, but to make the implementation cleaner. Previously, mutations were based on a creature's wild stat multiplier, and now we've given it its multiplier. This has led to some creatures receiving some buffs, nerfs, and particular stats, but we intend to rebalance this over time as we evaluate their roles in the meta. We want your feedback on that. They've not fixed getting more than 20 mutations, but we remove the 255 cap so that servers can specify a cap. We'll leave it as is for our officials at 255, but it's open to adjustments. So I'm not really sure what they're saying about mutations and breeding there, but looks like there's going to be some changes to dino stats and how they operate. So I'm kind of curious to see how that works. Character creation overhaul. Yeah, it was paramount to their art team that they overhaul the character creation system for ASA, so the characters looked less survival jank. And they successfully did that, but then they decided to say screw it and allow you to mess with all the bones and scalars anyway. So yeah, you can make something that feels nice and polished, or you can choose to make a character of questionable proportions that looks like it belongs to Ark Survival Evolved but next gen. Oh my god, too funny. You know what? And that's a smart move there, because some people like making freaks, you know. I mean, you have two options in Ark. You can go with the default settings and make very minor changes to it, or you can go all out and make a freak of nature. So it's kind of cool that they are allowing us to make a cool looking character as well as yeah, whatever. Is there new Gareth Coker music? Sorry, in the main menu, can't hear you over the new Gareth Coker music. Ha ha ha. Alright, so we're working with closely with NVIDIA on a bunch of stuff. Unreal Engine 5, why not 5.3? Yeah, gameplay when? I guess we're getting an October trailer and screenshots. Cheaters, they will still be working with anti-cheat for ASA. Won't be sharing more information as anti-cheat, as it doesn't benefit anyone to do so. Okay. Survival of the fittest, so it's going back to being called SOTF. It's easier than saying TSOTF. Yeah. It will not be available at launch. They intend to do it, but they're putting all their time and all that into remastering the game to make it as good as possible. After launch, they'll be remastering Survival of the Fittest as an in-game downloadable mod for a winter release. Cool. There'll still be a queue. There won't be a queue system at launch. Events, yes, we'll be doing these. The first ASA event will be extra life, bonus rates, and all that jazz. And then we'll be doing our first content-related event in December with the launch of Winter Wonderland. So we're going to have a brand new Winter Wonderland. I wonder what kind of changes they're going to make with that when we still have Raptor Claws. It's kind of cool. ASA has its own content roadmap, but yeah, too soon to talk about that. Can't wait to see that. Creature submissions, developers, and all that. Live op updates. Alright, well, they told us quite a bit here, and overall, I'm very pleased. There's some things that are a little like about the breeding. Kind of curious to see what they do there, what kind of changes they implement. I enjoy breeding. I think it's one of the, it's kind of like a peaceful thing to do in the game. Nobody's on. You bust out your animals, you start breeding, you start looking for mutations, you try to perfect a pair of breeding creatures, to make an army out of. That's fun. So I'm kind of curious to see what's going on with that. The lack of speed points is kind of interesting, being able to not speed up your creatures, because, I've sped myself up to about 120%, 130%. It makes a huge difference in the game. Now, I understand on my unofficial server, I'll be able to uncheck that. but I'm not sure that I will. You know, I might keep it in line with, like, I could uncheck leveling speed for flyers. That way you could make a Quetzal that can be across the map very rapidly compared to a normal Quetzal. But I didn't change that because I understand the reasoning for it. I mean, it's mainly a PvP thing, but still, yeah, not really 100% sure about that. No Cryopods on release. Man, that's going to hurt. I'm going to tell you right now, that's going to hurt. But hopefully the subsequent maps come out in a fairly rapid succession so that we can get those Cryopods eventually, because I am relying on them. I can't wait to hit, was it level 51 or 55, whatever, and you can make your first Cryopod. Oh my god. Clean up that damn base, because nothing, and you can ask anybody in my tribe, nothing pisses me off more than having your base, everybody's out, or they're all organized, and then somebody whistles all. Yeah, I just kind of want to kick them out of the base, kick them off the server, take everything from them, and drag their body to the ocean and stand there while they drown. But yeah, so, but yeah, no Cryopods in the beginning. We're going to go back to old school caves. You're going to have to go back to the old school caving. You know, get on a small tame if you can. You know, get in there and do what you can. Raise creatures inside of caves. That's a possibility too. Yeah, wow, it's going to be fun. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. There's a lot in there. I'll leave a link to the actual survivetheark.com so you can go read about it yourself if we skipped over something that you were interested in. As always, I'm Captain Beefy, and this is the Game Vault. If you found this entertaining, or yeah, if you learned anything, let me know down below in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell for notifications. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, peace.